Oh.
Hey there, folks. I'm Zerfall.
I'm MysteriousJG.
And welcome back to Inindo, the Way of the Ninja.
So Inindo's quest right now is to use his ninja skills to determine whether Samantha, the character in Caillou...
You couldn't even make it.
Oh god, it's not even worth explaining. I think it's funnier to just not even explain what the fuck was going through my mind.
Folks,
spent
just
the last
don't be puzzled.
45 minutes
Please
talking
enter.
about the cartoon I've never seen. Please enter. Don't be puzzled. I think they're pretty puzzled. I know I'm puzzled. How can you bring up a character in the... You have a minor character description of a character where you mention another character who's not listed as a minor character. Caillou, you are confusing me.
Yes. Now you can see here, the spiral as you continue on. There's holes in the spiral, and they all lead nowhere. We're also leveled up much higher than we were. We're level 17 versus level 11, although Otuwano has leveled up slower than everyone, and Hanyo has actually leveled up faster than everyone else. He's seems to, I don't know, I guess monks, is that what he is? Have a slightly smaller curve. He's got new magic. He knows Gust now, which is kind of like the sneeze move in Final Fantasy 6/3, where, let's see if it works here.
Well, that was not a move you ever got to use.
Great Gust blew him away, but it counts as him running away, so now we won't get experience for that.
Well, that was the thing, because what made Gust interesting in Final Fantasy VI is that you never get to use it unless I'm completely remembering wrong.
You might be able to learn it as
Mr. Chupon would use it against you in the fucking battle arena to automatically win, because it has a 100% success rate as far as I know, and it doesn't kill you; it just knocks you out of the battle. So you would keep going against Mr. Chupon, you would trade your most valuable item to Mr. Chupon for a fucking potion and would lose. That was their way of telling you, fuck you, that's not a combination, I hope you saved. So we got Otuwano, Hanyao, and of course Mr. Zerf, whose French name is MysteriousJG. Caillou's neighbor, introduced in the 1998 episode Caillou's Not Afraid Anymore. He has a gold tooth. In the episode Farmer for the Day, it said his first name is Paul. That guy's a major character. he's far more important than Hot Dog Man.
So, something interesting that happens here is as you're walking down, it stops you and says, "Is this treasure worth the effort?"
Is this some psychological test?
Well, I'm gonna save in slot 9 here.
Who's seeing this? What's happening? I don't have sound, by the way. We didn't really bother to figure that out, but that's okay. Let's not worry about it.
I think it's supposed to be Mr. Zerf speaking to himself, but as you come up here, you'll hear you won't, but I'll hear a little click. Then you come over here, and what's in the box? A medicine.
Okay.
And then you go to leave. Now there's a hole here.
You're an ninja. You should be able to jump over it.
No, it's too large.
It's too big of a hole.
It's too big a hole. Can we just flee? Oh, nice. So, I'm just going to use the in-game speed up for running here.
If we found medicine, that means that we won't need to visit the doctor. Featuring in the episode Caillou visits the doctor, she treats Caillou for an earache. So that...
and other ailments that Caillou doesn't realize.
Let's not get into that. Although, in fairness, you're better. It's less tasteless for you to make those jokes.
Yes, I suppose it is. So these rocks are still a bit of a pain in the ass.
Yeah, no, Zerf was telling me for us, it won't make a difference to you because we had a big long gap where we couldn't record, but we hadn't uploaded the very first video yet. So for us, it's been a big gap between these videos, and I was apparently in a grumpy mood, and at the end of the last video I told Zerfall, you better do a bunch of leveling up, and then forgot that we'd even beaten the second dungeon, so...
To be fair, I didn't level up at all between the first and second dungeon, so...
No, you didn't.
I had not done my homework.
But, yes, better level up a bunch, and then weeks later forgot where we even were.
But this is already not worth the effort.
For I won't go into here. I was in a really bad mood when we started recording this episode too. It's I went on vacation. I came back all pissed off about something.
Luckily, Caillou was there to lift your spirits.
Yeah.
That's like another friend of mine was in a really bad mood too, and I accidentally posted. There was a discussion about Cracker Barrel, and I haven't been to a Cracker Barrel since 2004. But I accidentally typed
Cracker Barrel recently. But anyway, go ahead.
I accidentally typed. I don't think. Oh, what did I say? I said I had been to a Cracker Barrel since 2004. I think. And I was like, oh man, I hit enter already. I was supposed to say hadn't, so I right-clicked and deleted, or I clicked on it and deleted the message and just retyped it with hadn't. But I was doing it from my phone. So what ended up happening was my phone was in a spotty area, and it kept trying to send the message. The server was getting it and saying, okay, we posted your message. And then sending back the message saying we did it, and then my phone going, oh, they must not have done it. I'll send the message again. So there's like 8 posts that are flip-flopping back and forth between I've been to Cracker Barrel since 2004, I think, and then I haven't been to Cracker Barrel since 2004, I think. And then people afterwards are like, what are you trying to say? Have you been there? Haven't you been there? What's wrong with you?
I don't know, like, it's the idea that you went back and forth 8 times, so it really, whether you went to Cracker Barrel or not doesn't matter. Now I'm like, are you having an aneurysm?
Yeah, so, but someone apparently...
You're having a full-on, like, you're going into a fugue state over Cracker Barrel.
You know, so my friend was having a bad day at work. They just got back from vacation, too. And they were just like, their next post was...
Very briefly for Bobo, I'm in a bad mood about something that happened at work immediately after getting back from vacation. I'm not in a bad mood. It's like, God damn it, I just spent the week with my family. It fucking sucked.
No, do you know what? The first two or 3 days back to work always suck anyways. I've had... back when we used to be...
Special circumstances, but yes.
Yeah. Back when I used to be a lot more stressed out at work, I used to almost be like, do I even want to go on vacation? Because when I come back, it's going to suck.
Yeah. I kind of actually had that feeling going into the vacation. But...
it always ends up worth it in the end, but yeah, so they were on their first couple days back to work too, and were like, ugh, and then they messaged and said, this really made my day. And it's like, okay, I'm glad my lack of online sanity has cheered you up.
It was in a lighthearted, jovial way, but I will still, on rare occasions, will go back and listen to a specific episode where Grimmeth appears to have like a complete mental breakdown while attempting to play Reaper's Corsairs. I don't even remember the name of the game, but his team he made was Reaper Corsairs. He just spends 5 minutes trying to start a video and just breaking out into laughter. Laughter is the best medicine, as you would know if you had ever spent any time with... Oh, I lost it. Dr. Orange. Gilbert's vet. He appears in the episode Gilbert Goes to the Vet. He is also Ollie's, Sarah's cat, vet.
Oh man, that's one thing that did happen that we didn't talk about. Poor Lucky got an eye infection.
Aww.
And
that doesn't sound very lucky.
No, it's not lucky at all. But it lasted. Well, it was bad for one day, and then we took him to the vet the next day, and then the eye drops started working actually almost right away. So there you go. He's almost back to his happy-go-lucky self.
So for a while there, he was Kyofu no eye-infected monster.
Yeah. And then, oh man, I guess you haven't heard about this either. What do you think is the best thing to do if you have a pregnant woman and she has some food she wants to eat? Should you
get that food?
Well, should you get the food for her? Should you not eat that food? Or should you jump up on the counter, take the scone, and eat it when they're out of the house? Lucky might have made a mistake. So we had this. We went to a farmer's market.
Only one of those, one of those 3 options doesn't seem like it was one the dog ever had. In fairness.
Yeah, well, he could have ignored it.
No, it's like you said, get the food, not eat the food.
Well, you had already suggested getting the food
you wanted. Like, get the food to be like, does Lucky really have the option? Like, oh, I'm gonna go to the store and buy that food.
I guess that's true. But yeah, so we went to a farmer's market and got these delicious scones that you can only get on Saturdays at the farmer's market. And Jacqueline got 2 so that she could have one at the market and then have one the next day. And then the next day we got home from going out to the store.
Pregnant women are so selfish. She wanted 2 scones that are available once a week.
And Lucky we got home and there were wrappers on the ground and we're like, what happened here? And Lucky's slinking around the corner of the room. Oh, I don't know what happened, guys? There's a wrapper on the floor and the scone's gone. It must have been a
that?
ghost.
Did you use the spy commander there, or am I having weird clipping issues?
You might have had weird clipping issues.
Yeah, we're completely ignoring the game. Sorry, folks.
Well, we're just working our way back to where was it worth it to get this treasure, and I think that we found out the answer.
Well, it was medicine, so no. Unless you got cool stuff on the way back and I didn't notice it because I was too busy reading about Mara, a child who was in Caillou's play school class when they play games at the park. She appears in the episode Play School Games, so one appearance.
That's not very good for someone that's in his daycare? Hey, we got someone to level 18 now.
Mara only has one appearance in Caillou, even though the Mara appear in 2 Peter Davison Doctor Who serials, Snake Dance and Kinda, which I actually skipped out of order. Kinda came first. Perennial Doctor Who fanfic villain, the Mara.
Do you know what this...
But only one Caillou episode, which they apparently were far less threatening to the cosmos.
Well, kind of. I think I might have seen that one.
It might have been pretty dangerous. So no, like 25 freaking minutes ago when I first mentioned that you had leveled up between videos, my point was that he's like Zerfall, our characters have leveled up like 6 to 7 times, I guess you were telling me, and they're still it's still kind of annoying to defeat the enemies in this dungeon. Although
our monk managed to do 21 points of damage to a newer monster, so hopefully we don't get poisoned here. Nice.
Manticore is like one of the nastier monsters to encounter, as I recall, in Castle of the Winds.
There's a lot of games where they're pretty bad.
Yeah. I don't really know. I mean, it all just going to come and like school our asses in the comments, but I don't know that much about what mythology Manticores come from. I assume it's Greek. Hercules probably like beat up a bunch of Manticores and like threw them at the Hydras. Like he killed like one Manticore for each Hydra head, and then like stuffed a Manticore down each Hydra's mouth simultaneously to choke out the Hydra. Cut off their heads and more grow back, so you have to stuff Manticores down there instead.
Choke them out with Manticores.
Choke them out.
One thing I will notice that mentioned, apparently our monk has the skill Renew, which is the same as going to see the doctor. So there was a couple times where I accidentally got people dead and they just got injured.
Oh, that's nice.
So the treasure was up to the left here. This is the only other way to go.
So is it like going to see the doctor, or is it like going to see Dr. Orange? Because those are 2 separate minor characters.
It's the doctor because they heal you from being injured as opposed to healing your cat from being injured.
So it's not like the dentist who appears in the episode Caillou goes to the dentist.
The dentist didn't get a name. Why did the vet get a name but none of the the medical staff that affects humans?
There's a doctor and a dentist who are separate. Dr. Orange, who gets a name, and the vets get names. And the vets do not have the honorific doctor in front of their names. So if I was a vet, I would be very upset at Caillou or the person who wrote the Caillou Wikipedia article with 800 fucking character listings, which don't include Samantha, who is Whisker's owner.
You know, we were talking about children's shows earlier. We watched one the other day just to see what was... I can't remember what it was, but it was some 3D thing. And this kid burns his hand on some hot chocolate because he's told not to touch the hot chocolate. It's hot. He touches it, it's hot. He burns his hand.
It's teaching children a lesson, which apparently Caillou does not do. Seen any.
But there's 2 ladders to choose from here. Maybe more.
Either of them.
But then the adults are like, we've got to cool it off fast, and they have a sink right there, and it's like, yeah, they're supposed to run it under cold water, but not too cold. And then they're like, oh, I know how to cool it off fast. We'll get you some ice. And they get some ice and put it on the thing. That makes it worse. You're literally teaching kids the opposite of what they should be doing for first aid.
Is that something that becomes apparent during the show?
No, they're like, I feel better now. This is the right move.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not a first aid expert, so you don't want to put ice on a burn.
You don't want to put ice on a burn because ice is too cold. It damages things too. So you have already damaged skin, and then you're like, oh, why don't we put some...
Well, obviously, I learned my first aid from the wrong cartoon.
Yeah, you did.
I used to watch, like, Belle and Sebastian and Ancient Cities of Gold. They didn't teach you first aid. They taught you that there's shit out there that wants to kill you, and you need to wash the fuck out.
Especially if you... do you know what? I bet you children's shows from Australia probably have a lot more of that in it. That stuff wants to kill you. You better watch out.
I was reminded fairly recently of some koala facts I had actually heard before. That like koala pups eat what's called pap, which basically is like diarrhea that comes out of like adult koalas, because they can't digest eucalyptus, so they eat like instead of like in birds where they'll eat it and then spit up like semi-digested. No, like baby koalas just eat koala poop essentially, more or less. The other thing I found out was that like 80% of because obviously koalas are only living in the wild in one continent, Australia, so there is like one big koala population, and like 80% of them have chlamydia.
Yeah, I've heard that too. So we're fighting something that's actually an interesting enemy now.
Badass. Karasu Tengu. I think that's like a rival Canadian children's show.
Well,
is this like a boss, or are we just?
No, we just ran into this guy on this new floor.
So you were doing your grinding on like the first floor.
Well, not the very first floor, but I didn't want to come up too high and spoil things. So we have this warp pad we could go on, or we could go check out. Well, you know what? We can always go back to the other ladder later.
Some of those holes you may need, like, this might be one of those dungeons. I know this is something you've experienced before. I'm not like giving you shocking news, but sometimes they will set up a hole, and you're like, oh, I've got to avoid that hole, and then it turns out, oh, nice.
Oh, bags are full.
But like Galgo 13 did this to maddening effect in some of their mazes. Like you actually have to fall into the pit. You'll be trained to avoid pitfalls, but then there'll be places where you have to fall in a pitfall to either proceed or to get the best treasure. Which is totally something that nobody watching this LP knew about, so I'm glad I was able to educate you guys that 8 and 16-bit RPGs sometimes feature mandatory pitfalls.
Yeah. Alright, let's see if our buddy Otowano can equip this blow dart thing.
You suppose Otowano celebrates Chinese New Year's like Rosie? Oh no, she's not Chinese. Shit. Who's the Chinese person? Sarah, yes.
There's an 8-point star here too. Okay, so.
Sorry, I confused Rosie with Sarah. Rosie's French name is Moussini. 8-point star, huh? Okay, so we didn't need to buy that, but you've done enough grinding that we probably.
Well, if it turns out that this other guy here can
other ninja can use it, yeah.
So we're gonna see if this monk can use a blow dart.
I mean, like Ancient Cities of Gold styles.
He might not be able to give it because it's equipped. Shoot. No, don't pick it up. Okay, good. The item management in this game is very cumbersome.
Very clunky. So you can use the...
Whoops.
Wait.
So...
What?
Hanyo won't be able to use the 8-point star. So
right,
I'm giving him the... blow dart.
See if he can use it. Because Otowano can use the... Oh, you're using, not equipping. That's not going to work, right?
I'm giving. No, I am using. You're right. Shoot. I'm trying.
I thought you all gave.
No, I had to unequip it, and now I have to go all the way down.
I should be using this time more valuably, like finding more minor characters to read about. So that blow pipe has been transferred. Hey, pass a little bit of that blow over here, dude.
Why are you taking your blow with a pipe? This isn't... Let's see. Okay, yes. Helmet. Sage robes. Gold staff. He cannot use it. So, let's real quick look at Mr. Zerf. Which one's better? 8-point star is better. Okay. So I don't know why they put this other one here. There must be some other minor character that can use a...
There's probably some other class.
It seems like we're going to have to make some room for stuff anyways, though, because our bags being full is causing an issue. Alright. We should be able to... That actually makes this a lot better for when we get into fights. That's part of what... Well, this one goes down. Ah, so see, we could have come around to this one. Oh, no, we couldn't. Start all over again?
Yeah.
No way. I'm not falling for that.
Well, it might be a trick trap. Maybe it doesn't make you start over again. Instead, leaves you the best treasure ever. What we need to find out now is if our other ninja with an 8-point star is doing as much damage as our main ninja does with an 8-point star.
Yep.
They
So,
might not actually.
I'm pretty sure...
The equipment might not make as much difference as we think.
I'm pretty sure this is a trap, and that this other... Oh, they're jerks! It warps you back here. It literally makes you start all over again.
Was it worth it to get an 8-point star, though?
Maybe.
And the experience, not just that your characters have earned, but the experience that we've shared together.
Well, that's true. We've learned so much about Caillou's minor characters.
I don't know how much of it we learned since you got trapped going back down there.
Alright, so, but now we have... Near far. Well, I mean, he just did 40 damage that he wouldn't have done normally, so...
I was really worried that there wasn't going to be a character in the French-Canadian cartoon named Pierre, but it's okay. Is there a character named Jacques?
Don't worry, folks, there's a Pierre.
There's Pierre. Now, is there a Jacques? Doesn't look like there's a Jacques, although you wouldn't think there was a character named Samantha if you just looked at the listed characters.
He probably owns the one at some point.
There are Caillou secrets.
There are characters that are so secret that only those that are steeped in the tradition of Caillou will truly know.
True depths of Caillou-ness. Okay, so let me see here. If I click to find on this page, JACQUES, is that correct?
Oh, it's not all over again. Okay, that's not so bad.
Assuming that Jacques is spelled JACQUES, there are no Jacques to be found on this Wikipedia page. I'm surprised.
They didn't want to be too obvious with the naming conventions. Alright, what other trick traps do they have for us here? Wait, this one doesn't do anything either.
I feel like we should be able to use like some kind of ninja rope to get across those gaps. Like Batman.
Oh, there's a wind midge here.
There's actually more than one wind midge. They're off balance because they're so shocked at their own appearance. We just missed. That's madness. We need to be doing better.
Well, they do half damage when they've moved. To be fair.
No, I know, but we totally had a character, or we had an enemy that like was off balance and we totally missed it.
Oh yeah, that's pretty lame. Way to go, Mr. Zerf. Wait, is this a really insensitive name? Is midge supposed to be short for something?
Could be. Well, they got these little red things sticking out of their head.
They're like trolleys.
They actually appear to be significantly taller than any of our characters.
That's true.
Although none of these enemies are necessarily to scale, or those are some really big snakes.
Yeah, we got some gold out of it. A little bit of experience.
Oh no. Great success.
Alright, so something's weird.
In the neighborhood?
Yeah, I do not know who to call about it.
Oh, well, I've got a whole list of characters. Let's see if any of them would be helpful. Should we try calling Sparky a Dalmatian at the fire station? He has seen a Caillou. I'm sorry, I'll stop. Every time I think I'm going to stop, I come across... Off camera, folks, I got a good 10 minutes of joy out of the description of Whiskers. Caillou names the cat something, and it's like, so why isn't that its name?
Is there like some sort of secret? No? So maybe we've come up too far.
Bernie, a parrot who appears in the episode Where's Gilbert? He can talk and says, keep an eye out for Gilbert. But why is there a hyperlink? See, Wikipedia never ceases to amaze me with the randomness of what words people decide need to be hyperlinked to the Wikipedia article. So that character description I just read about the parrot has a link to the Wikipedia article on parrots. Meanwhile, there's like no other Wikipedia links. Oh, except for Santa Claus. So character Santa Claus, and that has a link to the Santa Claus page. The description: a Santa Claus also has a separate link to the Santa Claus page.
Well, because there's Santa Claus and then there's just a Santa Claus. Do they go to the same page?
No, they go to the same page. His Santa Claus in costume appears in the episode Holiday Magic. Rosie is afraid and not fond of him.
To be fair, when I was Rosie's age, I was also afraid and not fond of Santa.
Well, how old is Rosie? A lively young sister who is a typical.
Ah, you were right. We had to fall down a hole.
I see what I tell you. Well, later seasons she becomes more talkative and independent. She wears Mary Jane's shoes, so maybe she is a Mary Jane character. All right, so Skyroom. Yeah, I should probably pay attention now that we're in the freaking end of the dungeon.
I believe there's a way you should be reading this. It involves saying "awoo" and asking where this room is.
Where is Skyroom, Daddy? Oh, here it is. Where's there right now?
Mr. Zerf opened the treasure chest. Sky Gem was inside. Your bags are full.
Oh, my bags are full. I can't carry the Sky Gem, baby. If only I knew a nice veterinarian who could help me with my various illnesses, Daddy. I want to find one. I'm looking through this list of people for a doctor. But the only people who have doctor in front of their names are other kind of doctors. Oh, here we go, Dr. Orange. Never mind. Dr. Orange.
Oh, Zerf has to be the one carrying it. I guess there's a chance that one of our teammates might disappear and lose all their items.
Oh, I wonder if there's a chance to like leave your party Seventh Saga styles and like betray you and steal your stuff.
There's a chance.
Seventh Saga being, of course, the prequel to Seventh Saga 2, which is the one you played. Yep. Which is not actually called Seventh Saga 2. I don't remember what it was actually called.
It was called Mystic Arc.
That was your first LP, wasn't it?
That was my first LP.
I remember being a couple of minutes late for work one morning because I was watching an episode of Mystic Arc and it was almost over, and I like hung around a couple of extra minutes to watch, and then ended up like being late. It was like a training day, so like everyone was like I would never have been noticed, but that day it was like, oh, sorry guys. Nobody asked me why I was
sorry
late.
guys.
I did not have this plan. I was watching Mystic Arc.
That's too bad. I could have been some free advertising. Sorry guys, I was late. I was watching an excellent Let's Play by a man named Zerfall. You should check him out.
I still remember the freaking music anytime we went onto one of those like shipwrecked boats that the cat pirate guys were living on these boats that were like, you know, because the water had drained out of this world and these boats were basically towns. The music was like
Do you know what? People are still watching that series, and I get comments on it every once in a while. But like the microphone my microphone for that was so bad.
No, I know the feeling.
And I don't know I think YouTube videos over time lose some quality or something, because like it's real bad.
One or two of my and I owe the people 5,000 subscribers. I'm at 6,100 subscribers as of now, and I owe the people my 5,000 subscriber special. But the idea was to do a follow-up montage to my old 1,000 subscriber montage, where I did some clips from my very earliest LPs, and it's amazing because I'll go back and watch like here's me making a reference to a Hickory Farms gift box. You know, I'll throw that in there, but it was from my old computer and my old capture software to where just huge pixely random craziness would just plop up for 3 or 4 seconds at a time and then disappear. And it wasn't happening as I played the game. It was only happening in the recording. And I was like, oh my god, how did anyone watch this? The answer is not that many people did.
No, I think I'm finding a faster way down. Falling down the right holes.
Do we think at this point we've actually got all the treasure chests? Like, is there anything you're looking for on the way down, or are you just
No, I think we went all the ways. See, but here's the thing now, is that I might be able to level up a little bit in between recordings now, because...
Near, far, near, far.
The problem is there's no easy way to just skip a turn. And you always have to pick far, so it's hard to swap, it's hard to do it in turbo speed.
Yeah, you can't just quick make that guy who doesn't have a good ranged weapon defend.
Mm-hmm.
Is the rock just not attacking you?
No, it defended because it knew it was going to die.
Gotcha.
It did that thing where it pretended it had a broken wing. It was like, oh, my wing's broken. Oh, no.
Let me ask you a question. Have you eaten at, you think you've eaten at Cracker Barrel in the last year?
I don't. I have simultaneously, I'm like Schrodinger's Cracker Barrel customer.
Yeah, well, I mean, we
I
don't
exist
know
in a
the
state
answer.
of having eaten there and not having eaten there since 2004.
Both possibilities still exist.
Stranger things have happened.
I've just decided this video is not going to make sense to anyone, so why try to start now? You can't attack from there. What are you, nuts? Are you a brazen man? What are you want to use Gust for? Doesn't that mean you don't get experience?
Well, if it had worked, it would have just ended this battle faster because we're right at the exit.
Gotcha. Yeah. And it's it's kind of time to end the video. It's kind of time to be out of this dungeon.
Well, and these guys they don't give much experience.
Gotcha.
I'm going to use some magic on this guy, though. What do we got? We've got Torch. So it turns out Torch attacks in a straight line from where you are and hits everybody in that straight line. Unless it misses, then they escape damage. Jeez. They're really dragging this fight out. See, this is the thing. I was trying to do the fast go there, and it...
Yeah, it's kind of... The command inputs don't allow for frame skip to help you. I can see what you're saying now. It's I was like, oh, you need to be doing off-screen grinding to make the videos more efficient. But it's no, the off-screen grinding is pretty effort, level and work intensive. That's what I'm trying to say, man. Let me know when we're ready to call the video. No rush, just...
I think... Yeah, we just got out. So, do you want to talk to Ellie before or next week? Let's just talk to him now.
Yeah, let's talk to him now.
I haven't had a chance for much voice acting in this. There's nothing special.
Congratulations, you did it. Surface masters the fog technique.
Mr. Zerf has also mastered the wind technique.
Oh, sorry, I didn't notice this video. Now go to Mount Oswar for your next round of training.
He should give us a quick clue here. No, he's not. Oh, see, we have to learn our geography, I guess. So I'm gonna save facing this guy.
Maybe this is how this is an educational game. It forces Japanese kids to learn Japanese geography.
Fair enough. So let's double save the position, and next time we'll talk to this old man one more time to figure out where we're going. We'll try to get there.
Well, if we're done, I'd like to say on behalf of MysteriousJG, Zerfall, and the captain, a captain of a ferry that Caillou's family rides in the episode Caillou's Road Trip. Thank you for watching our video.
Bye, folks.